Morning, everyone. How's everyone this fine Sunday morning? Is everyone here finding joy this morning? Perhaps, maybe. Well, my name is Javon Haskin. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm the music director here, and I would like to invite you to rise in body or in spirit, and please join me in singing the song Joy in the Morning, a song heavily influenced by gospel music of the Black church. It's just one of the many songs out there that make reference to the text in Psalm 30, verse 5, which states, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." So we are going to sing Joy in the Morning. We'll find joy in the morning, joy in the morning, joy in the morning we'll find joy. We'll find hope in our children. We'll find hope in our children. Hope in our children. Hope in our children. In our children we'll find hope. We'll find strength in each other. We'll find strength in each other. Strength in each other. Strength in each. Look at your neighbor and say, we'll find strength in each other. Strength in each other. In each other we'll find strength. There is love all around us. There is love all around us. Love all around. Love all around us. Love all around us. All around us. Where is love? All around us. All around us there is love. All around us there is love. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Reverend Rodney Lemery. My pronouns are he and his. For those who are visiting this morning, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are really glad that you've chosen to spend part of your week with us here in the sanctuary, in Borton Hall if you needed a little bit more space, outside, or on our live stream. Everyone can wave if you want to the people online. Welcome back if you are returning to campus after a brief or long hiatus. This is our time to come together to co-create the world that we hope to live in. Our Sunday time together is sacred and important as we and our children and youth all get to practice those values that are important to us so that we may be ready to live them out in the greater world for the rest of our week. For those online, please join us for a virtual coffee hour, which will be held for 15 minutes directly after the service, so that you can say hello to anyone you've been chatting with in the YouTube chat area. And if you're visiting, we do hope that you will sign a visitor's card either virtually or at the greeters table after the service in Borton Hall. Having just finished isolating for 10 days due to my COVID infection, obviously I'm with you today because I tested negative on Friday. Yes, thank God. That bedroom was lonely. Our Bay Area has one of the highest COVID rates in the country for this summer. Right now, we are at 1 in 40 people who are positive with the virus. So please remember that part of our values ask us to be responsible to one another with community care. As a congregation, we have strived to follow science, so remember that vaccines do work, and masks protect both the wearer and the greater community. So stay safe and continue to look out for one another, please. In these uncertain times, all that we have is each other. So in the true spirit of mutual aid, we have launched our very own food pantry. The shelving was installed today in the kitchen by the entrance into Borton Hall with the motto, "Take what you need, leave what you have." We will be offering pickling and preserve-making lessons and sessions throughout the year to keep the shelves stocked, and ask that if you have canned items or any non-perishable items that are in sturdy, rodent-friendly packaging, please feel free to stock those shelves as you are able. This is a simple but wonderful way for us to practice the art of mutual aid. I also want to lift up a lovely worship opportunity given to us by our summer minister, Rose. She is offering an earth-based worship service this Wednesday at 5 p.m. on the brick patio. Please join us then. And for those of you in need of a listening ear, we have pastoral listeners on campus, and you'll be able to see them near the water column during the offertory. That way you can identify them. And finally, welcome to this, our beloved community.
Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Deach, a new member of your Board of Trustees, and thank you. I am here to serve you, all of you. My pronouns are she and her. Welcome to our service. Are we reading this together? No. Can you please read along with me? We bring to life our Unitarian Universalist values as we seek truth and work for justice, nurture compassion and courage, reach out to each other and our larger community of faith, bridge the divisions that wound the human family, transform ourselves and our world. Do you have some extra time to donate? We are looking for folks to help out with coffee for the next few weeks as our intrepid volunteer Andy Bandy takes vacation. If you can help, let us know. We also need a few good ushers and see the just-in-time column in the newsletter for other ways to help. And welcome. It's good to be together.
And in the spirit of today's service, where we are talking about our part in the larger UU faith, it's all about being together and connected. So maybe turn to your neighbor and say, "I'm really glad to connect with you."
gotta keep your heart wide open, though the waves want to push you around. You've gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. You've gotta keep your heart wide open, though the waves want to push you around.
Oh,
You've gotta keep your heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground.
One more time.
You've gotta keep your heart wide open, though the waves want to push you around.
I'm going to keep my heart.
I'm gonna keep my heart wide open till your faith brings you back to solid ground. Thank you.
We light this flame in gratitude for those from our congregation who made the journey to General Assembly, who represented us in worship and witness, in voting and discernment, in the holy work of democratic faith in action. Today, we honor their faithful service as delegates and participants, carrying pieces of our community's heart into that great gathering where thousands come together to wrestle with the questions of our time and discern the path forward for our beloved movement. This light represents the wisdom and experiences they bring back to us, stories of inspiration and challenge, moments of deep connection and prophetic witness, glimpses of the larger Unitarian Universalist family of which we are a part. May this flame remind us that though we could not all be present in body at General Assembly, we are all a part of this living tradition. Through the sharing we will hear today, we too become witnesses to that democratic spirit that guides our faith, the justice work that calls us, and the love that binds us together. As this light burns among us, may the experiences shared today kindle new inspiration for our own ministry here at home, deepening our commitment to building beloved community, advancing justice and equity, and nurturing the spiritual growth our world needs. We light this chalice in celebration of our connection to the larger UU movement, in gratitude for those who served as our representatives, and in anticipation of the gifts they bring back to enrich our shared ministry.
I'd like to invite those who are young and young at heart to come forward for a time for all ages. Once upon a time, many years ago, in a bright and curious Unitarian Universalist congregation just like ours, there was a seeker named Mark David Watanabe. One day, Mark heard whispers of a transformative gathering called General Assembly.
What is this General Assembly? And why does everyone keep talking about it?
Hey there, I'm Reverend Rodney, and I serve as a ministerial delegate to General Assembly, or GA for short. GA is where Unitarian Universalists from all over the country, maybe even the world, come together to make decisions about our faith.
Wait, like voting? Are we running a country?
Well, kinda. At GA, we vote on big faith-wide decisions like choosing leaders, affirming justice statements, or updating our principles and values. Every congregation sends delegates to represent their voice. It's democracy in action. So why don't we see what it was like to be a delegate? So with the wave of my magic wand, you all now are delegates to General Assembly. Okay? And in honor of today being National Ice Cream Day, we are going to vote on making ice cream a spiritual practice. All in favor, say your favorite ice cream.
Vanilla!
Rum raisin. Yeah, okay, I think the motion passed. So now let's do one more, a bit more serious. All in favor of having love at the center of our faith, say community.
Community.
GA isn't just about voting. It's about making the world better. We march, we learn, and we make commitments to social justice, whether it's climate action, racial justice, or LGBTQ plus rights. We're in it together.
So, it's like collective activism?
Exactly. Okay, so on the count of 3, shout out a word that means justice to you. 1, 2, 3.
Protesting ice. GA is also where we make friends, share ideas, and learn from each other. There are workshops and affinity groups and meetups. It's like summer camp, but with bylaws.
So I can connect with people who are UU like me?
Totally. You can meet youth, adults, ministers, and musicians, all who share your values.
Right. GA also fills your spirit with amazing worship. Thousands of voices sing together. There are inspiring sermons, and we light the chalice as one big faith family.
Wow, I didn't know it was so spiritual too.
It's like a giant heartbeat of our faith. You leave feeling renewed and ready.
Okay, so let me see if I got this right. GA is about voting and shared leadership. It's about justice and taking action. It's about connecting with others. And it's about worship and spiritual growth. Did I miss anything?
It's about knowing we are better when we all work together.
And so Mark David Watanabe found his way to General Assembly, not just a meeting, but a movement. And then Mark David Watanabe went on to attend GA and just recently attended his 26th General Assembly. And counting. Every year, GA reminds us that when we show up, speak up, and link up as a team, we are building that beloved community together. And with that, please join us in singing our children and youth to their activities.
Go in love, our hearts go with you. Go in joy, our homes go to
morning again. So every year, as we just heard, Unitarian Universalists gather from across the world for our association's General Assembly. It's a week of worship and learning and the conducting of business of our association, but it's really so much more. It serves as a remarkable time of connection where unique strands of our individual congregations come together to weave into the greater tapestry of our faith. This year's theme was Meet the Moment, and it called us to contemplate how our faith stands, ready to guide and uplift a nation and a world fighting for justice and significant challenges. To me, the theme highlighted the transformative power of our faith. This year, I volunteered to be one of 2 organizing chaplains for General Assembly. In serving in this capacity, one of my fellow volunteer chaplains serving that week was a person by the name of Tess Baumberger. Now, some of you might know that name from Worship Web, which is the online portal where anyone can find beautiful meditations and prayers to use in our various UU gatherings. Tess has written a large number of meditations and prayers and call to worships. And some of you may know that name for a different, amazing reason. Chaplains at GA offer a ministry of presence to those who need a listening ear or simply a quiet place to process the experience of General Assembly or to deal with their personal lives, which do not stop just because we are away visiting our UU neighbors. We had a care room where Tess and I found ourselves often together, and during one of our combined shifts, she shared with me that she had served as an intern here at MDUUC in the early 2000s. Working alongside Tess reminded me that our care for one another in our individual congregations often creates ripples that extend far beyond our homes and out into our greater UU spaces. The interns that we support and encourage and have for decades ago become ministers serving our association and the greater world. On September 2nd this year, we will be so lucky to offer another internship to a wonderful student minister named Aidan McMahon. Our congregation's investment in spiritual education and growth of interns definitely becomes a gift to the entire association, and I learned that at General Assembly this year. Meeting Tess and hearing her speak so fondly of this place that I call home was heartwarming. Later that same day, while I was taking a break and walking around General Assembly's vendor hall, which is arguably my favorite place, the wonderful marketplace where all of the artisans share their gifts with all of us present at General Assembly, I found myself browsing the display of handcrafted ministerial stoles. I saw a beautifully crafted stole with the colors and patterns that seemed a bit familiar. And then I saw the label, and it intriguingly was titled Mount Diablo. Now, the creator was sitting nearby, Kit Wright, whose artistry I've admired for a long time, and so I asked her, Kit, why is this stole labeled Mount Diablo? But wait, it gets better. Kit and her husband explained that they had been longtime members of Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church. The stole I was admiring was inspired by our sanctuary's stained glass windows, the very space where I am privileged to serve week by week. Kit explained that this pattern was an old one, that she was inspired to take out of her filing and create a stole again for that very General Assembly. It turns out that the pattern of the stole is the one that was given to interns when they left Mount Diablo back then when she was a member making stoles for the previous interns. I'm wearing that stole today, not just as a beautiful vestment, but as a tangible reminder of how we carry one another forward, how our care and creativity become gifts that travel far beyond their origins. My last experience of gifts of this congregation at General Assembly gives happened when the greater UU world was watching our very own Laura Zucker's This Boat, as it was introduced as one of the favorite new hymns of our virtual Sing Out Love hymnal. While this is definitely one of my favorite Laura songs, I am so excited to know that UUs worldwide may be singing it during Sunday services or other UU gatherings. As we return to our individual congregations and communities, I hope that others like me recognize that caring for ourselves and our world is not some arbitrary moral obligation, but can be a welcomed opportunity for connection. It is not a labor-filled task to check off our lists of to-dos, but rather a source of joy that can brighten all of our days. May our faith continue to weave together individual threads of connection that result in a fabric strong enough to hold and support us all. Come, let us worship together.
I can attest that this boat was a hit. That was the very beginning of them doing the song. And by the end of that moment, the entire room was standing and clapping and getting into it. And so I invite you to please rise in body or in spirit to sing this song by singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, music educator, and MDUUC member Laura Zucker. She wrote this song inspired by the work of Viktor Frankl on happiness versus the meaning in our lives. When we commit to a community of any kind, our fates and fortunes rise and fall together. So let's sing This Boat. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. We all know hardship, we all know pain, but nothing ventured means nothing gained, and every rainbow needs the rain. You're not alone, try again. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. As we head into verse 2, even if you've been tempest-tossed, even if you feel that all is lost, you've heard the thunder roar, had a look at heaven's door. If you're sinking like a stone, this boat will carry you home. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. In this boat, there's nothing we can do together, no matter the weather, no matter that the charts aren't ours, we will navigate by a star. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. This boat is steady. This boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. One more time. This boat is steady. This boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore. This boat will carry us. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore.
Good morning, friends. Good morning. Now is the time in our service when we take into the heart of the community those joys and sorrows which are too great to hold alone. Would those who have written in the book of joys and sorrows please come forward at this time? Rami is lighting a candle, asking that we not forget the people of Palestine who are enduring immense suffering. They face hunger, illness, and exhaustion from the relentless cycle of conflict. They urgently need our compassion and support as they deserve a chance for peace and a better future. Thank you, Rami. Kevin is coming to light a candle. Kevin is honored that this afternoon he gets to welcome 4 young men and 1 young woman into the International Fellowship of Eagle Scouts. They have all grown together into amazing citizens and leaders. And Jan is lighting a candle of joy to celebrate her granddaughter being born prematurely but being released from the newborn intensive care unit. Bob is lighting a candle of joy. Bob says, last Wednesday, Marsha and I celebrated our 42nd anniversary. A good time was had by all. Okay, Susie Simons. Susie is asking for a candle of joy to be lit. Susie says, Jack Benny always claimed he was 39 years old. Well, Susie Simons is 39 years old too. But this week, she is celebrating her 41st anniversary of it. Congratulations, Susie. And our caring committee asks to have 2 candles lit to honor 2 90-plus church members who have a birthday in the month of July. The first candle is for Maria Reiger, who will be 95 today. Happy birthday, Maria. The second candle is for Doris Deb Balso, who will be 97 later this month. Happy birthday, Deb! And I am asking that Rev Rodney light 2 final candles. One to hold those joys and sorrows which were not expressed in words, and one to hold our concerns for the world.
For our meditation song, Hold My Hope by Ana Hernandez, please remain seated, and we're going to do a simple two-part harmony as we sing on this prayer chant that Ana wrote, who loves to create tunes to help us be present and to listen to one another as we build loving and just community and deepen our relationship into this invited, gathered community we have here and into the prayer itself. So we're going to start with just the chant of hold my hope, or if you're lower, hold my hope, 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 hold my hope. Let me hear you. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start with, keep singing, please. My hope, hold my hope. Mm-hmm. Hold my hope. I'm going to sing the melody. The lyrics are on the screen. And if you choose to join, please do so. Or you can keep this foundation. Hold my hope, hold my trembling, hold my heart, teach me a beloved. Yes. Hold my hope, hold my trembling, hold my heart, teach me to be loved. Hold my hope, hold my trembling, hold my heart, teach me to be loved. Hold my hope, hold my hope, hold my hope, hold my hope.
Friends, please join me for a moment in the spirit of prayer. Spirit of love, source of all life, holy mystery called by many names and no name. We have shared our joys and sorrows, the tender places of our hearts laid bare in this sacred circle. We have witnessed one another's celebrations and struggles, knowing that in community we need not carry our burdens alone, nor celebrate our victories in isolation. Today, as we prepare to hear from those who journeyed to General Assembly, we hold space for the joys and concerns they carry from that gathering, the inspiration they found, the challenges they witnessed, the connections that stirred their souls. May we listen with open hearts to the stories they bring home. May we receive their gifts of witness and wisdom. And may we find in their sharing new ways to live our faith more fully, to love more deeply, and to serve more faithfully in this community and beyond. Bless all who gather in the name of justice and love. Bless those who served as our voices and hearts in that larger assembly. And bless us now as we open ourselves to learn and grow together. In the spirit of our living tradition, we pray. Amen, and blessed be.
The song that I'm going to sing right now, Golden by Jill Scott, I heard this at GA. It closed one of our big services. And listening back to it, it was so clear that this song embodies our first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every being. And so as we sing through, when we get to the end, I am going to encourage and invite you to do some more singing together. Are you guys open to that? All right. And we are basically going to be singing, we are living our life like it's golden. Living our life like it's golden, okay? Hey, if you know it, join in. Oh, hey, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm taking my freedom, I'm pulling it off the shelf, I'm putting it on my chain, I'm wearing it around my neck, I'm taking my freedom, I'm putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go, it will take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, grooving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, I'm putting it in my stroll. I'll be hot stepping, y'all, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm making my own freedom, putting it on the strap. I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm drumming my own freedom, playing the God in me, represent His glory. I hope He's proud of me. Yeah, yeah. I hope He's proud of me. Oh, living our lives like it's golden, 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 golden. We are living our lives like it's golden. We're living our lives like it's golden. 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 Living our lives like it's gold. We're living our lives like it's golden. 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 Living our lives like it's golden, golden. Living our lives like it's 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 golden, golden.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Oswald, and I serve on your Board of Trustees. My pronouns are he and him. The theme for today's service is Meeting the Moment, which is the theme of this year's General Assembly in Baltimore last month. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the cohort from MDUUC that represented our church. All right. While MDUUC is part of the UUA, it does not receive much funding from the association. Therefore, we rely mostly on our own membership to keep our programs and finances in order. So if you can contribute a little today or any time, any gift, large or small, is welcome. If online, you can click the Give Now button on the MDUUC website at any time. And if you're here in person, you can give directly. Will the ushers please come forward? Thank you. Please join me in the dedication of our offering with the words as appear on the screen. To the work of this community in transforming ourselves and our world, we dedicate ourselves and our offerings.
Good morning. I'm Meg Richardson, a MDUUC community minister and a member of this congregation, as well as a member of the faculty of Starr King School for the Ministry. Starr King is one of 2 Unitarian Universalist identity seminaries where UUs can prepare to become UU ministers, chaplains, and other types of leaders. The body that accredits Starr King called us the most progressive theological school in North America. This year, a General Assembly Starr King honored and thanked President Rosemary Bray McNatt for over a decade of service to Starr King and welcomed the new president, Dr. Stephanie Kruzmark. I started attending the UUA General Assembly in the 1980s, but since 2015, I've attended every year. This is because I teach an immersion class in UU polity for Starr King at General Assembly. Polity is a way to describe our form of governance. Congregational polity means we don't have a pope or a presbytery. We elect our president and other officers and committee members through a democratic process. General Assembly is our annual meeting where all the congregations that are members of the UUA can send delegates to vote on the business of the UUA. We also worship together and attend programs and workshops. If you are used to worshiping at a large congregation like MDUUC, it can feel amazing to worship with 3,000 or 4,000 UUs rocking out to Blue Boat Home. Since 2011, some of the delegates have been online, and in 2020, a global pandemic meant that all the delegates were online. Next year's General Assembly will be online again with in-person regional events scheduled, and the 2027 General Assembly will be both online and in San Jose. It will be great to have General Assembly here in California, and I know that MDUUC will show up. More than 3,279 Unitarian Universalists attended General Assembly from 592 congregations in 48 states. 796 of us connected online, but most of us descended on Baltimore, a city that is significant in Unitarian Universalist history. 2025 also marked the bicentennial of the foundation of the American Unitarian Association, one of the precursors to our Unitarian Universalist Association today. Well, last year was a momentous General Assembly because the delegates affirmed the good work of the Article 2 Study Commission and voted to change Article 2 of the UUA bylaws. This year, the delegates at General Assembly voted to continue the process of revising the UUA bylaws over the next 4 to 5 years. This is a good thing. Most organizations revise their bylaws on a regular basis. It's been a while for the entire UUA bylaws, although changes have been made over time. There is a bylaws renewal team, and they have already begun this work. We elected a new pair of co-moderators, the Reverend Kimberly Quinn Johnson and Bill Young, who were installed on the last day of GA. We celebrated the launch of a new virtual hymnal, and we recognized the leadership of Paula Cole-Jones, the Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore, and Larry Ladd, with awards for their service to our faith. At the start of this message, I told you that Starr King has been called the most progressive theological school in North America. What I didn't say was how very few seminaries and theological schools would even be interested in that label. Although the theme for this GA was Meet the Moment, and there were some very practical resources on community care and resistance, an important component was who are we as UUs in this moment, and the importance of naming and claiming our identity as religious people in a climate where many people think religious means a very specific set of beliefs that promote a very narrow view of who belongs here. I returned from General Assembly with grading to do and recommendation letters to write, but these questions have stuck with me. Next year, on the 4th of July, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. I think what we need now in this moment is a declaration of interdependence, a new commitment to a society that is inclusive and fair, where all people can thrive, not just survive. How do we get there? Together. Thank you.
Reprise. What is this General Assembly? Well, it's an annual conference that gathers our spiritual tribe, and there are many ways that lay adherents can participate. To be sure, it's where the business of our faith tradition is conducted and congregations send delegates to represent them. I was one from the MDUUC. In that role, we get to decide ways in which we operate in the world informed by our values, from making statements of conscience to promoting actions of immediate witness. In Baltimore, as you heard, we elected new co-moderators of the UUA Board of Trustees, installed new members of the board, the nominating committee, and the Commission on Appraisal. Now, if you don't know what that commission is, we re-elected Reverend Rodney to that body, so you can ask him. We also selected a new congregational study action item on abolition as faith formation. And you'll hear more about that in the time to come. All good work indeed. However, we recognize that we are definitely in a moment that needs to be met. The meeting itself was bracketed by two events: the U.S. versus Commerty decision by the Supreme Court, which denied the provision of care for transgender youth, and the U.S. military strikes against Iran. In both cases, statements were quickly issued addressing these developments as moral lapses that our faith compels us to stand firm with loving resistance in response. There's also a special event at GA called the Ware Lecture, where a prominent speaker is invited to deliver reflections on the intersection of religious beliefs and contemporary culture. In 2025, we were privileged to have Imara Jones, a renowned journalist, thought leader, trans activist, and advocate for change. She put forward a provocative analysis of how anti-trans politics have been deliberately used to undermine our democracy. She challenged liberals and progressives by stating that if you really hold your values, you apply them everywhere, including in yourselves. And as you heard, there's so much more: energizing worship, engaging workshops, even Laura Zucker's This Boat song. You saw it sung in the video in a smaller hymn sing session, but when it was sung in that large plenary hall, it was electrifying. There was a new programming concept introduced, and which I will allow Ms. Linda to say a little bit more about that. But to experience our collective wisdom, to see it emerge organically from UUs across the movement, What's not to like? Now, if you've never attended a GA, Reverend Meg already gave you a heads up. GA will be virtual in 2026, but in 2027, it will be in San Jose. Now, this represents a remarkable local opportunity as GA has not been in the Bay Area since it was held in San Francisco in 1964, over 60 years ago. All told, the power of synergy on display at GA can be an incredible source of inspiration and resilience. It invites a critical mass of our larger community to come together to declare with one loud voice that we are Unitarian Universalists, and we are a people committed to bringing a love-centered vision to an imperiled world.
My name is Linda Russell. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I want to talk to you about my experience attending GA as an online delegate. GA is a combination, as has been described, of worship, learning, reflection on UU values, and calls to action in ways in which we can actively participate and in what is happening around us. To balance the heaviness of the day, of this moment, this year, the Skirmity decision from the Supreme Court against transgender rights and the bombs dropped on Iran, there's also a lot of discussion around self-care, around community support that is incorporated in the programming, as well as celebrations of youth and celebrations of service. I've been a delegate for the last few years, and the role means a lot to me, to be an active part of the governing process of our faith. This year, it meant more to me given what is going on with our government, the assault on our democracy. Although we did not have a big vote like the 8th principle or the Article 2 this year, the vote for the moderator is an important one. So here's the job description for the moderator. As the chief governance officer of the association, the moderator works closely with the board, executive staff, and committees of the UUA, and ultimately our member congregations and covenanting communities. The moderator helps to shape and hold the vision and mission of the UUA. The moderator also works to encourage and support leaders, congregations, and covenanting communities in our faith, as well as partner organizations in feeling fully heard and represented in our decision-making processes. Quite an incredible breadth of engagement for a 6-year position. And then facilitating the sessions for General Assembly. The moderator, this position requires a high level of accountability, which was on display several times as they responded to issues that people raised during General Assembly. And they made themselves accountable for mistakes that happened and clearly outline their process to rectify several situations. Not only did they acknowledge the issues that were raised and offer apology, we as a delegate body were presented options on how we wanted the situations to be handled. This year, we elected co-moderators Reverend Kimberly Quinn Johnson and Bill Young. As I cast my vote for these moderators, these co-moderators, I did so after reading their bios and listening to them in an interview with another candidate. in which I felt a strong sense not only of their understanding of governance and the skills that they bring, but also their spiritual investment in this work, in their leadership. Throughout GA, I stayed on top of discussions that were happening on the delegate platform, during the general sessions, but I missed many of the lectures and classes. But I'm very glad I'll have access to the recordings. This year, an integral part of GA was what were called wave cohorts. These were discussions that happened over 3 consecutive mornings, and I participated in each one each morning. Participants were given a variety of options and then asked to select a workshop that they would attend all 3 mornings. I chose Queer and Transgender Community in Crisis. These were our 3 guiding questions. The first morning, what is the moment we are in as UUs and in our wider world? The second morning was, what are the most urgent and most important needs and opportunities at this moment? The third morning was, how do our UU values call upon us to respond to this moment? Each day, after an initial presentation pertaining to each question, we were put into small breakout discussions where we had an opportunity to speak with UUs from other parts of the country. This was such a rich opportunity to go deeper into the discussion, to hear what others are doing, how we are feeling, and got us all thinking about what we can do. And how incredible the timing that transgender activist Imara Jones presented this year's WHERE lecture. In the same week, the U.S. Supreme Court decided to curtail and significantly harm the rights of transgender people in the Skirmity decision. I was honored that about 20 of you joined me for her lecture with a discussion after. She brought history, she dropped knowledge, she gave us time frames about how we find ourselves where we are. The WHERE lecture is a highly esteemed and incredibly powerful presentation in which the speaker not only informs us and gives us profound context to what is happening, but also leaves us with a very large ask: to consider what we as a faith community and as individuals can do to address the issues that are discussed. Her ask was that people call their representatives, which I have been doing on a regular basis, 5 calls, I've mentioned that here before, and for us to challenge in our individual lives and our individual engagements anti-trans comments. I shared that afternoon that out of this Supreme Court decision and my love for the LGBT community and my respect for my transgender siblings, what I can do is gain more tools as a psychotherapist to support members of the transgender community, and I plan to do more educating of myself and others and more outreach. General Assembly is not only an opportunity to learn and to explore what other UUs nationwide have on their hearts, but it's also an opportunity to tap into the collective wisdom of the larger community. As your board president, I'm very attentive to the governing process. As a member of this congregation, I want to provide leadership that taps into the collective wisdom of you who walk through these doors and watch online. As a UU, I very much appreciate being asked to engage in centering love and finding a commitment that makes the lives of those around me better.
Good morning again, my friends. My name is Rose Rydell. My pronouns are she, her, and I am deeply grateful to be here with you all today to share some of what moved my heart and stirred my spirit at this year's General Assembly. Now, as many of you know, and as has been stated, General Assembly can be a time of renewal and challenge. It's where thousands of Unitarian Universalists gather to worship, learn, and discern together. But this year felt particularly urgent and meaningful, especially given the times we are collectively navigating as a nation and as a people of faith. So I want to share with you today two profound encounters I had at GA, encounters with authors whose work has given me both historical perspective and contemporary hope. These weren't just academic presentations, they were calls to action rooted in the deep wisdom of those who have fought for justice before us. Now, the first was a lecture by Liz Theo-Harris and Noam Sandweiss-Back, co-authors of You Only Get What You Are Organized to Take, Lessons from the Movement to End Poverty. And the second was a presentation by Gloria J. Brown Marshall, author of A Protest History of the United States. So as you can see, I came home with both of these books, and I want to share them with you because they speak directly to the questions I know many of us are wrestling with. How do we create change? How do we honor our values in difficult times? And what can history teach us about building a more just world that our faith calls us to create? So what strikes me most powerfully about both of these works is how they ground us in historical truth while offering profound relevance for our current moment. They serve as roadmaps, showing us not just what has worked and what hasn't in movements for justice, but why certain strategies succeed where others fail. The deepest lesson I've taken from both authors is one that challenges any comfortable assumptions we might have about how progress happens. Both make crystal clear that protest, civil disobedience, and organized resistance have been the engines of every significant advance in human rights and social justice in our nation's history. No meaningful forward progress has ever come simply from the benevolence of those in power. This isn't a comfortable truth, but it's a necessary one. And I believe we are witnessing this reality play out before our eyes right now. So let me share some of their words with you because they express this truth more powerfully than I could paraphrase. So Gloria J. Brown Marshall writes, "Progress comes from public pressure creating equality under the law, because for most of this nation's history, the rule of law was a grand idea whereby every person was equal under the law. However, historically, the role of law is too often to control the labor class, people of color, women, the poor, immigrants, the marginalized, queer people, disabled people, and their allies until a critical mass of people rise up and convince stakeholders, influencers, attorneys, and politicians to join their fray." And this reminds us that law and justice are not the same thing, and that our democratic institutions require constant pressure from organized people to live up to their highest ideals. Liz Theo-Harris offers us this challenge. America's collective past has often pivoted on the abuse of scripture and faith by those with great power and wealth. The same is true today. But American history is also replete with examples of people from many religious backgrounds who have grounded their struggles for justice in the holy word and spirit of God. In this time of existential concern, when so many of us feel a deep sense of insecurity and are asking big questions about how we can change things for the better, It is important to learn from the people who have organized, who are organizing in the many abandoned and forgotten corners of this country. These words speak directly to us as a people of faith. They remind us that religion can be and has been both a tool of oppression and a wellspring of liberation. The choice of how we use our faith is ours to make. Friends, I share these reflections not to overwhelm you with the magnitude of the challenges that we face, but to remind you that we are a part of a long tradition of faithful resistance. The work of justice is not new, and we are not alone in it. We have ancestors in faith, people of many traditions, who have shown us that organized, persistent, loving resistance can move mountains. As Unitarian Universalists, we are inheritors of this tradition. Our values call us to affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person, to work for justice and equity, to honor the interdependent web of existence. These aren't just pretty words for Sunday morning. They are calls to action for Monday through Saturday. Both of these books are available at uuabookstore.org, and I was delighted to discover that A Protest History of the United States is available in our libraries. So I encourage you, heck, I challenge you to engage with these resources. Let them deepen your understanding of how change happens, and let them inspire you to see your own activism as a part of a sacred tradition. As we face the uncertainties and challenges of our current moment, may we draw strength from those who came before us. May we honor our ancestors in what John Lewis called good trouble, necessary trouble, by continuing their work with courage, persistence, and love. The flame we light each Sunday connects us not just to one another, but to all those who have lit flames of hope in dark times before us. May we tend that flame faithfully, and may we pass it on brighter than we found it. Amen, and blessed be.
Well, you've been hearing about it all service. Love is at the center of our faith. So please rise in body or in spirit, and let's join in singing this song that Emily Joy Goldberg wrote to celebrate the adoption of this UU value in 2024. I believe in the power of giving. I believe in the power of change. I believe in the power of differences. I believe in love. Love is at the center. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. I believe in the power of justice. I believe in the power of justice. I believe in the power of fairness. I believe in the web of life. I believe in love. Love is at the center. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love is at the center. Love is at the center. At the center there is love. Love is at the center. At the center, there is love.
Oh, as we go forth from this place, we carry with us the stories we have heard today, glimpses of our larger faith community, visions of justice work calling us forward, and the deep knowing that we are a part of something greater than ourselves. Go in peace, knowing you are loved. Go in hope, trusting the power of community. Go in purpose, ready to live our shared values with renewed passion. May the flame we lit together continue to burn brightly within each of us, connecting us to one another and to the larger movement for justice, love, and transformation.